hacia la banda contraria, Cano, sólido, a lo profundo, y no, díganle que no es la pelota.
Welcome to Three the Hard Way Sports Podcast, from three guys who talk sports together over lunch for over 10 years. Probably eating a Fudgy the Whale in that time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Three the Hard Way Sports Podcast. I'm Bryan Galloway here from Rumson, New Jersey. We have Alex Shanley. How are you, Alex?
Bryan, I am so happy for you. You got your Geno Smith back in your Jets green.
Oh,
You got
great.
Kristaps Porzingis back on your Warriors.
Yes, even better.
And you are ready to take on the world.
Yeah, my sports, like I'm not watching any sports right now. I don't want to watch sports.
Oh, the World Baseball Classic. We got to talk about that. It's great. Great sport.
And from the parts unknown, not one of the Moondogs, but we have Mike Pippersick. How are you, Mike?
I'm doing well, although I'm struggling with this whole weather thing we've got going on. 70 degrees one day, 35 and snowing today. So
Puxatawny Phil told you. You didn't want to listen. Puxatawny Phil told you.
This is
he's always right.
True March weather. The madness.
Yes, March madness. In like a lion, out like a lamb, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens. Okay. So sports world is going nuts right now. There's a lot of crazy things, but I want to start out with the thing that pisses me off about sports very much. This whole Bam Adebeyo, whatever his name is, this guy who scores 83 points, and it pretty much is given. The NBA is starting to be a farce anyway, and now because of this, I just don't like the whole thing. He wasn't really. They were trying to make him score. They were fouling on purpose. This is really bad. What do you guys think about this? I just think it's horrible. I think it's bad for sports. What do you guys? Who wants to talk first, Mike?
Well, the NBA is kind of in an interesting state here because it is all about scoring and it's designed to increase scoring after some of what we saw in the 90s when the Knicks single-handedly ground the NBA to a halt with those series they used to play with the Heat. But I will say that I was watching the Celtics Spurs game the other night, which was a great game, by the way, and I heard the announcer say that Bam Adebeyo had 32 points in the first quarter, and I had to go back. I thought I misheard that, and then I went on the ESPN app, checked the box score, and he had 53 at the time, and then the three of us started texting about it. I have to say, I was very intrigued by it because it's really just turned into a complete scoring fest. Every game is like the All-Star game, it seems. So if you're not watching your team, and so I'll watch the Celtics games as much as I can. I'll watch certain matchups that I want to see. Like I like watching the Spurs because they're a really good team, and I keep waiting for Greg Popovich to come out of retirement to coach them now that they're good again. But I kind of felt like I needed something different out of the NBA other than what we've been seeing, which is all these high scoring games. So to me, I was actually kind of excited to see that Bam Adebeyo was having this game. And I've always liked Bam. He seems like a really level-headed kind of guy.
I do like him too.
Not
I like him.
Social media all the time. But I didn't see the details of the game. I think, Bryan, you're saying that they were almost fouling on purpose. He went to the foul line 43 times, which is, I think, a record for an NBA game. But I was actually kind of into it and tracking it going along, telling my son who was on the couch with me watching the Celtics game, I said, Adebayo was up to 71. I'm texting friends. So for me, it was kind of a fun story. And I'm always about ribbing the Lakers or Kobe Bryant. So for him to pass Kobe Bryant for me was kind of funny too. So I did not have
Well,
an issue with
so yeah, some of the what came out is they were purposely fouling to slow up the game and give him more opportunities,
it. Hmm.
and and it just got to be the point they were just feeding him all the time. It wasn't like in Kobe's game, there was a comeback and they had they needed him to score.
They
No,
were
Yeah,
feeding him the ball.
no, yeah, they fed it. There was against a
uh,
terrible Toronto team.
I
They
don't know.
were awful.
They were like 17 wins.
And that
I
was
don't
near
know.
the end of Kobe's
And
career, right?
yeah, and didn't he go out basically saying, "I'm going to go out and score"? I'm sure he told everybody before the game. Look, my opinion is anybody that scores over 50 points, you're being fed the ball all night, right? Because in no regular game are you going out there getting 60 points and
Right.
not being fed the ball. So I, I think, Brian, you're absolutely right. The NBA is becoming farcical. Like it's like going so far one way that it's losing credibility. And I almost relate it to baseball. When baseball, you had your regular season with your 25-man roster, and then the playoffs started and they gave you 40 guys. Like, what was that? It was like a totally different game. That's what the NBA is going to be, right? You're going to have your regular season that's no defense and everybody chucking up shots. And then you're going to go into the playoffs, and all of a sudden, all these teams that were doing well at that game are not going to be good because they have to play defense and they're getting defense played against them. So it's really become a playoff league. And the regular season, except at MSG where the tickets are ridiculously expensive, it just seems like silly. But anybody scoring over 50 points a game, they're
Yeah.
being fed the ball, and an agreement has been made, or the coach has said, give this guy the ball.
Well, do you feel? I don't think they expected to have him score like that, but then they realized they had no other options, and they couldn't stop him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
think
then so they okay, let's feed okay, and see that's the whole thing is the Wizards. I keep saying the Bullets, but the Wizards they couldn't stop him because they don't play any defense,
yeah.
and
Yeah, a
so
bunch
they
of
had no
kids on
idea.
that
They had
team,
no
too.
way to stop this guy, which is baffling. Now that's because the league doesn't play and the young guys don't play any defense. They don't. It but it's sad that it got to that point. Again, I saw they had a commemorative basketball card for him. I would never buy that because it's just like it pisses me off. I don't like it. Um, but you know
I
what?
don't like it either, but they fed Wilt the ball to
Somebody's
get
gonna try to
100
top it
too,
now.
Brian.
There's gonna be like near the end of the season, somebody's gonna try to top it now. You
Yeah.
know it.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a
Or
lot of that
every
crap.
season, at least somebody's going to take a shot. I don't think they went into the game saying, let's see how many points he can get in this particular circumstance. I think it just turns out, like Mike said, he had like 32 after the first
Yeah.
quarter. And like, I think guys just started looking at each other being like, hey, they can't stop him. Let's call plays for him. And then all of a sudden it starts to just build on itself, right? Now it's like, okay, we're just going to give it to him. Okay, now let's create a bunch of fouls so the clock stops and we can get back down and get it back on offense again.
The number of shots he took relative to his team, for example, it is pretty wild. So he took 43 field goals. The team took 90.
Yeah.
And he took 43 free throws alone. The Wizards took 29. And I mean, he had a great game. It was 83 points in 42 minutes. And Brian, when you're talking about who's stopping him, the Wizards roster is atrocious.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
terrible.
I don't even know who some. I know Alex Sarr because he was a top 3 pick. I know Bub Carrington, Bilal Coulibaly, Will Riley, and Trey Johnson. That was their starting 5.
Isn't one of the Champagne brothers on there too?
Yeah, Justin Champagne. But I mean, I look at this roster and I could maybe name where 2 of these players went to college.
Yeah.
Like, this is a massive collection of no names. And
Well, they're
Trey
sitting
Young,
Trey Young, right?
yeah, well, he
And-
played earlier in this. He's been playing a little bit, but he didn't play in this game, and we know Anthony Davis isn't playing. So,
Right.
I mean, and then the Heat had Tyler Hero was missing. I mean, their starting lineup looked pretty bad for this game as well. They had 3 other players in double figures. Nobody else on the team for the Heat took more than 9 shots, and Bam Adebeyo took 43. So I think they, like Alex said, he had a great first quarter, and they said, hey, let's see how far this can go. And he was in the 40s by halftime and well into the 50s. And then I think, like you said, Brian, it probably just turned into the All-Star game where it's like, this is the only guy that's getting the ball. I saw this picture of the Heat were trying to inbound the ball, and it was taken from from far away, and Bam Adebeyo was triple teamed. So I don't know. I can't imagine that the Wizards would that any team would let a guy score 83 because
No.
it's humiliating.
Yeah. And Kobe took 3 more shots, by the way, to get to
46
81.
shots.
He took 46.
That's a normal night at the office for
but he had 23 less free throw attempts.
Yeah,
He
that
had 20 free throw attempts.
How many 3-pointers did he take? It took like 20 something, right?
22. Yeah.
Bam took 22. Kobe took 13.
Yeah.
22 3-pointers. That's a lot too. I mean, that again, I don't like it. I just don't like it. It's I like him as a player. I've always liked him. He's a good guy. He's a classy guy. But I don't know. It's just
Well, to the question about the NBA is getting farcical, it's all driven to be a playoff league. I'm assuming that you guys both saw Steve Kerr's comments earlier this week saying that the rigors of travel and this whole load management thing, which they never had in the past, but I won't get on that soapbox. So Steve Kerr proposed reducing the season by 10 games to 72 games, indicating that would reduce tanking, perhaps improve the quality of play because you'd get more of the better players playing. Now, not realistic, obviously, from a revenue perspective, because everybody would have to take less. But do either of you think that could be a way to improve what we're seeing now?
Well, this year, more than any other year, and I don't know why, but the schedule was really weird this year. The people have been complaining about like the back-to-backs and the long road trips more than any other year. There's I don't know the reason to it this year, what caused that to happen. Maybe they were trying something new, or they tried AI, or I don't know what they did, but I know a lot of the people don't like. They've been saying that the way the schedule is this year was not broken up well enough. Now, did they start later than they were supposed to? I don't know the whole. Oh, I know why. It didn't have. There was something in one of the last agreements that said that they had to. The start of the season was at a different time. I don't know. I don't even. There was a reason why they realigned the way that they normally do a schedule on the trips, and it's not working. And I think that's the biggest problem. I've noticed and I think Kerr does it on purpose. And I read this in an article that pretty much whenever there's a marquee game on ESPN or ABC, that's the day that the Warriors do their load management. And I don't know if he's doing it to spite them. I don't know, but it's
meaning when the Warriors are on.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I get if you go back and look, there's at least 3 this year that I know of when Curry and Green and Butler at the time could have played.
Well, Curry's load managed half the season. He's been hurt, right?
I know.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I don't know. I mean, 72 games. I think what'll happen in that case is the lesser players will play even less. Which, does that make the league better or worse? You know, like, I guess you always want the great players on the court, but will that shorten their careers because now they're actually playing, more minutes per game, but less games? Like, management's going to tell the players, okay, great, you have less games, but fine, you're now playing more minutes. They'll be like the Knicks last year, where every starter was playing 40 minutes a game. And does that make the game better, or is it really about cultivating those younger guys and saying, yeah, we have a back, kind of like what the Spurs do, right? Yeah, we have a back-to-back, or we have this or that. Here, all these young guys are playing. The Spurs did it years ago. OKC's doing it now, right? Like, there's some nights where, and injuries played, but OKC, you couldn't name a guy that they had starting.
Yeah, I know.
So, but is that also like development, right? Like, hey, these guys are getting game time, they're getting, real time experience. Whereas if you take 10 games away and there's all these 3 days, your starters are going to be playing a little bit more.
There are that many more teams now than there were.
Travel's better. Travel is the whole thing. Remember about different situation. Flights were different. Planes were different. They weren't as comfortable.
Yeah, they were.
It was much different, much more difficult to travel back in the day, and it was. And that, nowadays it's a lot easier. better. The planes are better. They're made. They're suited for the athletes. It's a different life, and so the travel is not the big problem. It's the back to backs or the overnight, like late night, and then the next day, like so late night playing, and then have to get on a plane, and then go into another place. No, we hated that with business, right? We didn't like that when we used to have to go. We used to have to go do that travel late at night, and then have to go into the office the next day,
Yeah.
let alone play a basketball game. So
Do,
it's a different world.
do you think the players would take less money
No,
because
No,
they're playing 10 less
they're
games
gonna
a
have to
year?
though. They're gonna have
they
to.
would have to, but I don't think they would.
Right.
But
I
they're going to
don't
price
think they
themselves
would.
out too. Like, again, the salaries are growing, and these bums are making a lot of money. There's certain players that make outrageous amounts of money that they shouldn't be being paid, and,
Yeah.
and it's just
Right.
that's got to stop. It's got to be the guys who draw the fans and play the games who make the money, and we can't keep signing these young guys to big contracts just because they think that that's what they go to college, they leave college early because they're going to make the bank and be set for life. But then they don't try any harder, they don't work hard anymore, and it's a total waste of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definite frustration when a family shells out a lot of money to go see an Oklahoma City game, and SGA sits out and you're there watching Isaiah Joe play. I mean,
Right.
most
Right.
people are going to one NBA game a year. They're choosing that game based on who their team is playing against because they're a kid and they want to see a star player. They shell out all this money, and then you go and that player's on the bench because of load management. That's got to be frustrating. So I don't
And the
know if
ticket prices are outrageous because I know Mackenzie and I
yeah,
tonight we're looking on StubHub for something, and or SeatGeek. I'm sorry for Nick tickets are outrageous, Alex. My
Oh yeah.
goodness,
Yeah.
yeah,
You can't touch them.
I
You can't
know,
touch.
I
What
know.
I paid to go to the playoff game 2 years ago when the Knicks came back against the Sixers and won that crazy
Yeah,
game. That's what a regular season ticket is now.
yep.
yeah.
The cost of a regular season
That's
ticket
why
was the playoff
the only
game.
time I go to games is when I win a raffle, win a raffle for work or something because
Yeah.
it's not worth paying. Ranger tickets. I thought Ranger tickets would go down, drop a little bit because they're not playing well. They're still outrageous.
Yeah, there's just 9 million people that that
Yeah.
could possibly go
Tourists,
to the
right?
games.
Tourists, I guess, want to go to a game as well, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Curtis Blow says 8 million stories in the naked city. There's so many people in New York. Um,
But then every year the NBA says, "Oh, it was our greatest year attendance wise."
Yep.
So
yeah, well, the NBA is in trouble, guys. I have this feeling. I'm worried. It's maybe there'll be somebody to rescue him. It's not Luca. He is not.
They need a new commissioner.
I
Yeah,
agree. I agree
I,
100%.
I
I
used
don't
to
think
like
it's a
him. I used to
player
like him a
issue.
lot. I don't like him
Yeah,
anymore.
me too. When he
Too
first took over, and then he just went
too
too far
friendly,
player.
too friendly with the players, too chummy
Yeah.
with the players. I think you do. I remember being frustrated with David Stern and his heavy-handed approach. Remember, he put in the dress code for players and all this other stuff, and he would suspend guys and not want to hear any appeals. He was the
But you know
final
what?
word.
I think that was perfect for that time because at the
Yeah,
time he was that the whole dress code and all that stuff like that. We needed that because it was becoming thuggery, and it's just not. I don't want to get back to that point, but if you look at the guys who are on the bench, sometimes if they're not playing, it's like they're going to the beach. What is going on here? I don't know. The way they dress is just crazy.
Unfortunately, these commissioners are like Supreme Court justices. They are essentially there till they die. So I have no idea who would be next in line. I mean, because look, Gary Bettman's been the NHL commissioner for a long time, and he's gotten a lot of grief over the years,
Hmm.
but he's still a commissioner. I don't know, Brian, if he's thought of as doing a good job, but certainly he doesn't seem to be at risk
No,
of
I
being
don't think he's
removed.
very well liked either. I mean, he's not.
Yeah,
I don't think he is. And
but he's not
uh,
going anywhere.
Yeah,
no,
because they make money for the owners. They're
Yeah.
media guys, right? They're not player
hockey
guys.
is doing better than it was 10 years ago. They are, but they're still not anywhere near the rest of the other
Well, the
leagues, right?
strike just decimated them,
Yeah,
right?
they
When they
did.
went
It
on
did.
strike, it
It
just
did. Now that's what's going to happen with baseball next year. I mean,
yeah,
I really feel if baseball goes on strike,
yeah. Oh, they're going on
we're
strike.
gonna it's gonna be a long time before they come back. It's
Yeah,
happening too. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
they're
Has
going to
to
Well,
go.
so
happen, right?
what do you
Yeah.
think about this? Again, I am not a I I watch it, but I just don't. like it that much. It's hard. What do you think about this World Baseball Classic thing that's going on right now? I know people are watching it. It's drawing fans. Um, it's exciting. There's weird rules. Uh, Italy is dominating, which just cracks me up. I love. I'm an Italian. I love to see that, but I was rooting for USA. What do you think, guys? Are you liking it? Do you think it's a good thing? Alex, you go first. What do you?
I like it. I mean, I'm watching the U.S. games, and I peek in on the Dominican Republic games every once in a while just because they have such a juggernaut team. I haven't watched Japan play yet, just because they're playing like at crazy hours of the morning. But yeah, I mean, I like it. I think it's good, and I think it's just like anything else, right? At the beginning, it was a joke, and they just had to stick with it and keep putting money into it. And you got to wait for those seminal moments, which they had. Shohei Ohtani pitching against Mike Trout in the finals. That was like Bird versus Magic in the NCAA tournament, right? And then that took it up to the next level. The downside is there's still too many teams that just don't belong, right? Like Denmark, and I mean, these teams, they don't have enough players. I mean, even like Italy, they're all basically American
Yeah,
players.
I know, but
You
the
know,
two guys from the Royals, Jock Caglianori and Vinny Pasquinino, those guys can. I saw them play a couple times last year in Kansas City. Those guys can hit the ball.
they're
Now
huge.
they're young. They're young, and they're becoming better. And Kansas City is going to become a really good team. They're
Yeah,
they're they're going to get some power there. But these guys hit the ball massively. But guess what? They're starting for this team, and they played well. But the rest of the Italian team is not really that good.
yeah, but the pitching in the World Baseball Classic is not that good.
No.
I mean, you have U.S. pitchers
Well,
that
pitchers take
guys getting
longer to
ready for
get
major leagues. They can only pitch
longer to get into
three or four
stride. Yeah,
innings. Yeah, I
pitchers
mean,
they just got into camp and
yeah.
they're not ready yet.
No. So it is a home run fest, and that's why those guys are performing so well. But I like it. I think it'll grow. I'm hoping that other countries like Italy this year, who they've typically been a doormat, they're better. Maybe that helps, spurn the sport on in Italy, and maybe 10 years from now they actually have some players from Italy playing in it. But I like it, and you know what? Sports is dead right now, other
Yeah,
than some college basketball that's going on. So having this kind of bridge us into, the baseball season, and then NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs. I like it from that perspective.
Yeah, I like the concept of it. I haven't watched the games, but I've been tracking them and reading articles about them. Got a huge laugh out of the Italian team with the espresso machine in the
yeah,
dugout,
that's funny. And
which is
they put the number. Whoever hits a home run gets their number on the espresso machine. Yeah,
which is absolutely hysterical. So I like the concept of it because I think you kind of need a little bit. You need to juice baseball up a little bit, but I agree with Alex that maybe there are too many teams. So maybe kind of winnow it down to the 8 best teams because there are some talented teams, and there's no other time really to do this either because the season will be starting in April. It runs through October, November, unless you're doing something overseas where it's warmer for this World Baseball Classic. It's basically now taking place here in the U.S. You're down to the final 8. So I'm definitely going to tune in tomorrow because I'm really curious to see how this goes. But yeah, it is a little bit strange when with some of these teams that wouldn't be able to field the team, they just start grabbing anybody that's got a grandparent or something to be able to play. Because I was thinking, oh, the U.S. is playing Italy, that's a blowout, and then the next morning I'm like, how the hell does Italy beat the U.S. in
Yeah,
baseball? Like it
yeah,
doesn't make sense.
well,
So
the pitchers are getting tired. See,
yeah,
again, I don't know what's going on. I also the coach didn't really know the rules of the game, even though he's trying to backtrack on it now. It's there's a a run differential rule that no one really seemed to understand. So the U.S. pretty much thought that they had it already, so they didn't have to worry about it. Wrong. It's interesting. It's very interesting. But
yeah,
now, okay, Alex, who's your prediction to win?
Oof. Okay, I'm rooting for the United States. I think it'll be Dominican Republic and Japan in the final,
mm,
and I think Japan will win because I I just think they have it all together with the pitching and everything. Although I'd like to see the Dominican Republic win. So, but I'll say Dominican Republic, Japan in the final. I'll take Japan to win. They're probably the favorite anyway.
Alex. Okay, so Alex is saying Dominican Republic and
No, I'm saying Japan.
Japan to win. Okay, Japan to win.
But
Okay,
Dominican Republic and Japan in the finals.
okay, and Mike.
I'm just going to be a homer and go with the U.S., although I do think the Japanese have just about mastered the game of baseball.
Yeah.
They've just really, I don't know, like watching the World Series, and I don't recall that. What was that pitcher's name that came in for the Dodgers?
Yamamoto.
Yeah, I mean, he was fantastic.
Yeah.
And you're at this point where pitchers can't go more than 3 innings. They've got to take all these days rest. And this guy was a workhorse in the World Series. So to me, that just speaks to the Japanese having just mastered the game. But I'm going to be a homer and pull for the U.S. to find a way with the crowd.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I want U.S. All of us want U.S. I think. Um, I'm kind of thinking that Japan's gonna win too. I was thinking about Dominican Republic, but they might not have the pitching. They have good, decent pitching, but their lineup is like a video game. It's like their lineup is like there's no outs. They're gonna score. So if they can, if it's a slugfest, they could win. They're all free swingers. They could beat Japan, but I don't think it's going to happen.
So I'm just trying to see. Japan has. Was Yamamoto not pitching for them?
Is he resting his arm
Oh
finally?
no, he's pitching. So Yamamoto, Takahashi, Miyagi,
Miyagi.
There's not a guy named
Yeah.
Miyagi.
Miyagi.
That's Miyagi.
Yeah, the other guys I don't know, but just Yamamoto, Takahashi, and I mean I'm assuming Otani can pitch as well. He's not even listed under the pitchers.
He'll come
And
out and pitch relief.
Matsumoto is pitching in the bullpen. I mean they're pretty loaded. They're pretty loaded, but
And I think these other countries really want to win this. You know, being that it's America's pastime, I think the Japanese players and certainly the Dominican Republic players would love nothing more than to win this thing, particularly on American soil as well. So I think there is a lot riding on this for those countries. Kind of like when you get into the Olympic basketball event, right? Everybody wants to beat the U.S. And I think baseball is the same.
So yeah, it would be great. I'd like to see Italy win at least one game, but I have a feeling they're going to get knocked out right in the next round. They
have Puerto Rico, so they have a good shot at winning that.
Puerto Rico's pretty good though.
Yeah, but I think
again, it's a home run tournament because again the batters are in better shape than the pitchers right now, so they're launching, and so it could be if they get into a slugfest, the Italy team could keep up with them, but I don't think they have the pitching to withstand this. They brought in Adam Onovido to close last night, and the guy's basically retired because he's done. Right? It's like
guess who they called up?
He's done. Yeah.
Guess who they called up? Tim Hill from the Yankees.
Oh yeah, I did see that. The U.S. team did though.
Yes, the U.S. team.
Yeah.
Brought up Tim Hill.
Well, and Screwball went back. Hey, again, see, I'm not blaming Tariq Screwball. He takes a long time to get ready every year. He's arguably one, if not 1A, the best pitcher in baseball. And he can't screw up his career doing this. Pitchers have to be really careful.
Yeah.
If you don't come and prepare for the season in the way you're supposed to, you're going to get arm problems. So he knows what he's got to do. His career is too important to him, and also to Detroit. He did want to pitch a little bit, but he wanted to support his team. But pitchers are the one factor here where the other, like the Japanese league, those guys are already in shape. The other teams from their leagues, they've been playing all season anyway. Winter ball's over they were playing winter ball, so they're all fresh. There's a big difference in the U.S. pitching. That is the one drawback in this whole tournament for the U.S. team.
So there's 3 teams that didn't win a game: Czechia, Nicaragua, and Brazil. They all went 0-4.
I was shocked that Brazil had a baseball team.
I know. Great Britain was 1-3. The Netherlands was 1-3. Panama was 1-3, and Colombia was 1-3. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams that are like, but maybe it'll build interest in the sport in their countries, and maybe they'll be, get a little bit better each time.
Yeah.
So a
I mean, like
16-team
England,
tournament?
like England,
Yeah.
England is. I just never think of England as a baseball team.
Yeah.
Baseball country.
I was surprised when I saw they had a team. I was thinking, oh, Great Britain has baseball? They play baseball?
They bounce all their pitches.
Yeah.
Hey, you're throwing a lot in the dirt. Oh, it's not cricket.
Yeah.
But all these guys are from the major leagues anyway, right? Like the majority of the guys on all the teams are either major leagues or teams. Like I don't think, does Great Britain even have a baseball league? I don't even know.
No, they don't. They don't.
Yeah. I mean, I think they just, it's like the big chatter online was, couldn't Ireland put a team together? Like they started naming all these Murphy play. Daniel Murphy should be the hitting coach, and this Murphy should be the manager, and that Murphy should be the pitching coach. It was kind of funny, but
yeah, well, they probably could though. Yeah.
yeah.
Again, it's a cool thing. So my Uber driver the other night, this is another interesting. I've had some crazy Uber drivers the last couple of weeks. But I had one that said he was, after I was his last drop off, and then he was going home getting his bag, and he was actually flying out to go see the World Baseball Classic. He was going down to Miami to see it. Which I thought that was really cool. He's a Dominican guy, and he said, hey, listen, I only get these opportunities once in a while. I'm going to go do it, and I'm taking my family to go watch it.
That's
So
cool.
that meant a lot to me to see that. That meant I say, hey, listen, this must be a pretty, hey, somebody really cares about this tournament. There are people they're not U.S. people, they're other people, and like Alex said, they want to win this thing, and that was a cool factor. I like that a lot. So, I also had another Uber driver in Atlanta that just started spouting out how bad the Hawks have been over the years and started rattling off all these bad players like John Koncak and all that. I was just laughing so hard. It was like one of the funniest rides ever. He was just tearing into the life of a Hawk, because I was telling him how bad the Jets are, and he goes, "Yeah, that's like being a Hawk fan," and he started ripping and talking about all these bad guys the Hawks have had over the years. So it was a pretty funny thing. So it is fun. Sports helps to unite a lot of people and a lot of country. Usually, regardless of what political theme you're following, if you both like the same team, you will find time to enjoy it together. And with all those crazy things going on in the world right now, sometimes sports does bring everybody together. And it looks like that for the World Baseball Classic. You're seeing a lot of countries here and doing things, and it's
So
good. It's good, but is this something that I really look forward to is it every other year or every fourth year?
that's a good question.
Yeah,
I think it's
but
every other year,
I
isn't it?
don't look forward to it. I don't. It doesn't.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not.
yeah.
It's not something I circle on my calendar. Like,
So
oh,
the
yeah.
3 guys on the Dominican Republic team were not born in the Dominican Republic. 3. Austin Wells is one.
Yeah, I know. I never even thought he
Vladimir
was Spanish.
Guerrero Jr.
Who?
Okay.
Vlad Jr.
He was not.
He was born in Canada.
Yeah, because
Oh, his dad was
His
playing for the
dad.
Expos then. Yeah.
And Manny Machado, born in the USA.
Really
Yeah. Austin Wells and Manny Machado, born in the USA.
interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So,
Well, okay. So cool
right.
thing. The Baseball Classic, guys. If you do have a chance to watch it, watch it. Maybe we'll see history being made. I think we all kind of agree the Japan team is a juggernaut, and Dominican Republic probably has one of the best lineups I've ever seen. Could the U.S. win? 100% they could.
yeah.
They could.
Come
They
down to
could.
pitching.
I just
for them.
don't think they're going to. I just don't. I really don't. I don't think they have the drive as much as these other guys do.
Yeah.
So okay, we'll go there. So where do you want to go next? You want to go to
How about Miami of Ohio?
Miami of Ohio? Lost their first game.
31-0 in the regular season, ranked 20th in the nation, and they lost in the first round of their tournament.
What was the score? Do you know the score?
Yeah,
I
they lost by 4 to UMass.
By
Okay.
4.
And they've played a lot of close games the last couple of weeks. I was actually just watching them play last Friday night. Was their last regular season game they played at University of Ohio, and they won in overtime, and it was a grind. And I think they've had a couple of overtimes, and a couple of really close calls the last 2 weeks. So something like 3 of their last 4 games were all really close, but they got through one of, I think, only 3 teams in Division One to go in this century undefeated, right? Wichita State was undefeated. Gonzaga was undefeated in 2021, and then Miami of Ohio. So this
How about Rutgers?
What Rutgers?
No, Rutgers 1 year they made it all the way.
Was 73?
Yeah, this is
James
this
Bailey
is
year.
the 21st century. This
Oh,
is the 21st
okay.
century, yeah, 3 teams. So not the 1800s when they were shooting into peach baskets.
Phil Sellers, James Bailey, whatever. I remember. I forget the other.
Is it 73 or 76?
Abdel Abin. I could probably name their starting 5. Wow, I actually could. Wait, James Bailey.
Well, you think of that.
Abdel Abdenathi.
No, Abdel Nabi played for Duke.
No, but there was another one there on that team.
Another one.
Oh wow.
Well, Indiana was
Eddie
undefeated
Jordan,
too, right?
Eddie Jordan.
76, yeah.
Indiana was 76, yeah.
Yeah. They're the only team that finished undefeated. And Kentucky.
Yeah, Rutgers, it was 75-76. They were 31-0.
Kentucky was undefeated in maybe 2011. No.
UNLV.
Yeah. Kentucky was undefeated, and they lost in either the Final Four or the Final 8. They lost to Wisconsin in overtime in a really good game.
And UNLV was undefeated and lost to Duke, right?
Lost to Duke in the Final Four. Yep. Wichita State was undefeated 1 year, and they got a really bad draw. They got Kentucky in the second round and lost a close game to Kentucky. And then Gonzaga.
Okay, so it was Abdel Anderson.
Okay.
Hollis Copeland, Eddie Jordan, Mike Dabney, Phil Sellers, and James Bailey, and Steve Heffley. That was a good team. Wow. Yep.
But they lost today. Miami of Ohio lost to a good coach in Frank Martin. He's the UMass coach.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that's where he's coaching. That guy is a good coach. I'm now surprised that UMass is only 17-15 with that guy.
Yeah, he's a good coach. I don't know how long he's been there, but
yeah. So I think now, Alex, there's going to be this controversy about, does Miami of Ohio get an at-large bid at 31-1?
I think they do, because they were 20th in the country. So I think that gets them in, because if you just look at that, that they were 20th in the country, then they played a tournament game, I would say they're in. But if some freaking SEC team that's got 15, 16 losses gets in and they don't, it's ridiculous.
Well, that's Auburn, right? You're talking about Auburn, who lost today to my favorite coach, Rick Barnes.
Yes.
So Auburn is 17-16, 7-11 in the SEC, and I saw this headline after their loss, after Miami of Ohio's loss, that said Auburn is still on the bubble and has a chance. I have no idea. I don't care about their
strength of schedule.
1 wins and their strength of schedule is going to be like that because they're in the SEC.
Right.
And their coach, who shouldn't even be their coach, I'll get to that in a minute, but their coach claimed that we have the best win in college basketball this season. We won at Florida. That was in December, maybe. And their coach is Stephen Pearl, whose father conveniently retired in October when there was no chance to get any other coach. And so his son gets elevated to the head coaching position, and here they are 17-16, and he's somehow trying to explain that they should get in the tournament. I don't think there's any way that a team, I don't care who you play, 17-16 should not get you into the NCAA tournament unless you expand it to 128 teams.
And while Bruce Pearl is said to be a nice guy, he's one of the slickest, slimiest coaches there's ever been.
He is dirty. That guy.
He is. He is smiling and cheering and all this stuff. He is, yeah.
Yeah, because he was at Tennessee and left, and he got one of those show cause penalties where he couldn't coach for a couple of years. So he conveniently goes into the broadcast booth at ESPN. He's sitting there in the studio, and then the Auburn job comes in. And he's a great coach, and he did a great job. Got them to the Final Four last year. turned Tennessee around when he was there, but I would not trust that guy. I mean, heck, the way the program operates, I wouldn't be surprised to see him end up at Michigan one day coaching. But
The football team.
yeah, the football team, because they've got a great basketball coach there.
Yeah, interesting. So what do you guys? So okay, the selection Sunday, we'll see all the teams. Are there any teams that you think are going to be a big surprise to get in?
A surprise to get in?
Is Miami of Ohio going to get in?
I think they have to get in. I think, like Alex was saying, ranked 20th in the country, which is pretty low considering you're 31-0. But I don't see how a team that is ranked number 20 in the country and goes 31-1, regardless of who you play, winning 31 games is an achievement no matter what. So I think they have to get in. I just think they're going to get a pretty low seed based on their strength of schedule and all those, the lack of quadrant one wins and all of those other factors that contribute to seeding. I think they're going to get a low seed, but they're a solid team. I mean, I saw them play a couple times. They play the game pretty well. They've got a lot of veteran players. The MAC is not a great conference, but I think they're absolutely worthy of getting it. I would be furious if Auburn gets it. I think that would be a massive injustice.
How about Yale? You always look to the Ivy League. Who's going to represent the Ivy League, right? Slow paced, a lot of 3-pointers, low turnovers. They could be somebody that, gets an upset in the very first round. I don't think they'll go further than that, but you could look at them to be an upset.
Yeah, they upset Auburn 2 years ago, I think, right?
Yeah.
Are they in? Because I know they got in already. Because I know they have they just started having a playoff recently in the Ivy League the last few years. I know they're in first place. They're a game ahead of. They ended up a game ahead of Harvard, but I don't know when their tournament happens.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, it's 13th and 14th, Mike.
Oh, there you go. Okay, at 13 to 40. So 4 teams get in. There you go.
Yeah.
So tomorrow. Yeah. So it's
oh no, Yale didn't even make it.
Really?
Oh no, wait.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Yale did make it. They're the number 1 seed.
Yeah, they're the top seed. Yeah.
So it's Yale against Cornell and Harvard versus Penn.
Yeah, Princeton's having a rough year.
Yeah. The women are number 1.
Yeah, they're number one.
They're seeded number 1 in the Ivy League. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's really an interesting year. I think the Big 12 again has a great conference. Like they should get, I think, up to 6 teams in, maybe 7 if UCF gets in. But I don't know.
Is Tennessee going to get in 21-10 with 10 losses?
Yeah, they'll get in.
Oh, who's that?
They will, huh?
Tennessee.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they'll get in. I think the SEC has such a strong strength of schedule for those teams. They'll get a lot of teams in. I think they were saying they could get as many as 10 teams in. The Big Ten might get, 7? They could get up to 9, I think. I think they were saying Indiana is on the bubble at 9 and 11 in the conference, but Ohio State might get in. They haven't in a long time. Iowa will get in. The crazy thing is that Purdue, who was, I think, they were like number 1 or top 3 in the country. They ended up in 7th place in the Big Ten this year, which is a bit of a surprise. They've got 3 teams in the top 10: Michigan, Michigan State, and Illinois. So there's those super power conferences. The SEC and the Big Ten. They're loaded. The Big East is only going to get 3. It looks like. St. John's.
Now here's my question: Is Seton Hall going to get in?
I think they will.
It's on the bubble, 10-10. They might have to. They might have to win another game. Might have to
get. But they're 21 and 11 overall.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get in, because I think they, the coach there, was it Holloway?
Shaheen Holloway,
yeah. I think he's turned that program around, and I think he's a darling for the media and for this tournament.
Well, they play St. John's next, right? They play St. John's next, isn't that?
Oh, I don't know. Actually,
in the Big East tournament,
yeah, they do actually, because they beat Creighton, so they get St. John's tomorrow 5:30.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be a big one for them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so let's talk with some locals because we're talking about Seton Hall. St. John's, obviously, they're going to get in. LIU is in, Long Island University.
Mhm. They're
Fins
coached
up.
by Rod Strickland coaches LIU.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really cool.
And Hofstra's in.
Yep.
And they're
First time
coached
since Jay Wright.
by who?
First time since that's the first time
Oh,
they've
Jay
gotten
Wright.
in since Jay Wright was coaching them.
But who's their coach? Is somebody?
Oh, I'm not sure actually.
Let me see. Oh, Speedy Claxton.
Speedy Claxton, huh?
Yeah.
That's right, because he played for Jay Wright at
Yeah.
Hofstra. That's right. I did see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So locally we'll have, especially if Seton Hall gets in, we'll have a number of teams. I don't
And
think
Monmouth
Rutgers-
lost in the final. I think that was two.
They lost to
wasn't
Hofstra.
it? Yeah, close game.
Yeah. I don't know where's Rutgers. Are they?
They, I don't know if they won today.
No, they're off 6 and 14. So 14 and 18, they're not getting in.
No, they won yesterday though in the Big Ten tournament. They're in the tournament.
14, 18, they're not going to get in, no.
Yeah, no.
They got to win the tournament.
Yeah, they have to win the tournament. Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
I'm trying to see where the cutoff is in that league. Jeez.
I know that,
Yeah, you're right. Indiana's on the bubble.
Yeah, they're looking like last I saw was they're not going to get in because they've not been playing well
Yeah.
lately. I think they lost like 9 out of their last 11 or something like that. So not playing great, unfortunately. But they lost a close game earlier to Michigan State, and Tom Izzo was praising them. He said they're a good team if they stick together. He said that he thinks that they could be a good team next year. But I mean, the Big Ten is so top heavy. There's so many teams there.
Yeah. A lot of money.
A lot of money. Yeah.
A lot of money.
How about St. Peter's at 14 and 6 in the conference, 17 and 12 overall?
What conference are they in, Brian?
Metro Atlantic. Merrimack is the best team in that league. Could St. Peter's come back this year and play and make it? They could maybe the tournament. They have to depend on the tournament.
That's done. I think Siena got that bid, right?
What Metro Atlantic?
I think so. Yeah.
They won the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've won 4 in a row. You're right.
Yes. Yeah. Siena beat Merrimack, and Merrimack is pretty good. They've turned into a decent program over there.
A couple kids from Rumson went to, I think, played football there.
Who beat Miami of Ohio?
UMass. The ghost of Marcus Camby was swatting shots off the rim.
Yeah.
My goodness.
How good was that team?
Oh, they were terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother's college, Belmont, is doing really good.
But yeah, I think with all of the NIL money going around, I think there's a concern that the Final Four again is just going to be chalk. It's going to be, Duke is terrific, Arizona's terrific. Houston is still very good, even though Kelvin Sampson complains about their limited NIL funds. But yeah, there's a lot of talent at the top of the bowls. Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. The Ohio Valley Conference, is it Tennessee State is in the Ohio Valley Conference? They're going to get in. They've won 6 in a row, and
Tennessee State.
The Patriot League, Navy. No, who won the Patriot League? Lehigh won the Patriot League.
Yeah,
Lehigh
won. I saw that last night.
So they're in. So you think Navy's going to get in though at 26 and 7?
Nope.
No.
They won't get in, huh?
No.
There are so many of those conferences are just one bid conferences. They won't get anybody else in because the SEC will take around 10, and if the Big Ten gets another 10 teams or so, the Big 12 will get 6, and then right there you've got 26 teams, 23 of which are considered at large bids, and it kind of just gobbles up a lot of the.
Now, how about the Southern League? Furman. Did they win that tournament?
I think they did, yeah.
Oh my goodness, they disrupted that tournament.
The Paladins, that league. Yeah, they were the 6th seed. The 5 were the 6th seed. Yeah, they're having
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 seed.
Yeah,
but they're 22 and 12. They're not. It's not like they're really a bad team. They're 22 and 12 overall.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Furman, huh? They could
Yeah.
be a big dark horse there.
You know who's going to get in? Who's good now is Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's turned around their athletic program completely.
Money.
Yeah, it's all
It
SEC money,
takes
right?
money. Yep. That's all
Football
it
team
takes
was
is
good.
money.
Basketball team's
Football
ranked
and basketball.
second. Yeah, it's amazing.
Southland is McNeese, Brian.
McNeese.
McNeese won the Southland.
Again,
And Missouri Valley is Northern Iowa.
who upset Kansas a number of years ago in the second round.
And the Big South is High Point for all you High Point fans out there.
Yeah, what am my sister Jen went there. McNeese won. McNeese won
Yeah,
the South.
I think it's the third year in a row. So remember, McNeese was coached by Will Wade, who got run out of LSU a few years ago.
Right.
So they are back in the tournament for the third year in a row. Will Wade left after last season, went to NC State, and he's probably going to get them into the tournament. It looks like they're looking not. ACC is not going to get a lot of teams in. I think 5 maybe. I think right. Duke, Carolina, Louisville, Miami, NC State, on Virginia. They'll get Virginia in. Virginia's back also. So they'll get 6. So there you go. ACC's taking some bids from those smaller schools. That's why with those smaller conferences, if you're the top seed, you kind of need to win your tournament to get in. So that's why I think Miami, Ohio's a little bit nervous, but 31-0, 31-1 should get you in.
Just do one more round and play one more game and do 128 teams.
Yeah, why not? Everybody gets in.
I mean, that's the way it is now, right? Everybody gets a trophy.
No, well, then they shouldn't have these conference tournaments.
That way
they shouldn't have these conference tournaments anymore. It's like the conference tournaments are a waste.
It's huge money for the conferences.
Yeah. I know.
The SEC, I think you have to win 4 games because they have so many teams. There are play-in rounds, so they don't finish. The SEC won't finish until Sunday. And I think they started yesterday. Today is the first day that everybody's playing. So to win the SEC, if you're a top seed, you have to win Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I don't know how necessary that really is for some of these teams. Like 4 days in a row to play.
Yeah, and why do they want to be like playing? Oh, we're like one of the last teams. I'd rather say let's finish early so we can rest our team for a week before the tournament, right?
I think it's got to be because they play on a Saturday, and then the conference tournament starts on Wednesday. So everyone's going to play Saturday, and then they have to travel Wednesday. So you got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday to get there. So they'd have to start it on Tuesday if they want to finish it on Saturday, or cut the number of teams that participate in the tournament. But if you do that, less money.
Yeah.
I don't know. You
play less regular season games, so you have a week. You can move everything back a week.
Yeah.
What are you gonna lose? 2 to 4 games?
Yeah, they're just jamming. They're just jamming more and more games in. Like like you said, Brian, the conference tournament. Do you need to play 4 days in a row?
No.
You never do that during the season. You're playing like on a Tuesday, Saturday. NCAA tournament, you play Thursday, Saturday, and Friday, Sunday, and then you do the same thing the following week, and you get the Final Four. So the only time you're doing this compressed schedule is for these conference tournaments, which, look, Duke is playing right now in the quarterfinals of the ACC. If they lose in the quarterfinals, are they not a 1 seed? I mean, they would be 29-3.
They may not be a 1 seed with the injuries.
Yeah, they do have a couple injuries.
Yeah, they probably will get it just for the name alone, because they'll bring fans in.
Yeah.
Part of the decision on the, especially in the first rounds, the higher seeds that bring in more fans are very important. Not that they're not going to fill the seats anyway, but the first round, they don't always fill the whole thing. After that, they do.
Anything in the Northeast, it's like everything's sold out.
Yeah.
You go to the Midwest, the stadium's empty till their team plays. They come for one game.
Yeah. I know.
It's like they come for one.
What are you doing? Yeah. Madison Square Garden, anything in New Jersey, that stuff is sold out, like packed.
Yeah, I used to be able to get tickets all the time. It was easy though. It was easier, much easier to get them like back in the day. But
Yeah.
now it's just with the ticket brokers and all the wait. People do it
Yeah.
online. It used to be when you used to have to go and stand in line at the Ticketmaster to get the tickets. It was much easier to get tickets.
You were probably a master at that
I
point.
was so good at it. There was a Macy's near our house that had a Ticketmaster up on the top floor, and we get over there. We'd wait outside as soon as the place would open. We run in and get them.
Yeah.
We used to do that all the time.
Hmm.
Run up the escalators all the way up to the top floor to get them. Yeah, but it was back in the day.
Yeah.
But at least you had the tickets in your hand too. Nowadays,
Yeah.
sometimes you buy the tickets and you don't even know if they're fake or not.
Yeah.
But okay, so really quickly, well, next week we'll do our NCAA picks. Hopefully
I just need your quick reaction on Geno Smith.
Go ahead. Geno Smith. My reaction is
I'll give you mine on Evan.
Hold on, let me get a bucket here so I can throw up. I don't want Geno Smith back, but he's the best thing available right now. Isn't that sad?
Well, is he though?
Well, they're gonna have to get a backup quarterback too. Let's see what happens. They have to get a backup quarterback, so they still got to get a backup quarterback. So that'll be the next thing they sign. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't think he's going to be awful. He's probably obviously better than we had last year.
Right.
So.
Will the fans welcome him back though?
No.
Just seems like a terrible PR move.
I'm just trying to balance this, right? Kyler Murray was still available.
I don't want him.
Kirk Cousins was still available.
Yeah, I wouldn't take Kirk Cousins.
You're talking about 1 year, right? I mean, what they signed Geno Smith for 1 year, right?
Yep.
They signed Kyler Murray signed at Minnesota for 1 year. Did Kirk Cousins sign yet? I don't know.
I don't think he did.
But I don't think Geno was the best quarterback that was still available. But do the Jets just want to lose? And if they just want to lose, why don't they just keep Justin Fields? Right?
They don't want to lose.
And then let Justin
Fields. They want to at least keep the games close.
But do they? Let Justin Fields stink for 3 or 4. Now I'm sure Aaron Glenn wants to win because if he loses,
if he loses, he's going to get fired. So
right, exactly. But so was it like trying to find the right quarterback to win the right amount of games, but still leave you enough space that you can get up to get the quarterback that you want next year?
I don't know. I don't know, guys. The life of a Jet fan is just terrible.
There's not a quarterback this year in the draft that the Jets could get. Where are they picking?
No, the Jets.
If you don't get Mendoza, you're not getting.
No, they're not going to get Mendoza. Yeah,
but
the Jets are picking 2.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Everyone loves this.
Right, Brian. You have number 2.
Right? Number 2. We're going to get We're going to defensive guy.
Yeah.
Which guy?
From Miami, probably, right? The edge guy.
With him or the other guy. There's another guy, Ohio State guy or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. The Ohio State guy says he's an edge. Yeah.
So the Giants did the same thing, bringing Evan Neal back. Like, I just don't get it. They drafted this guy and he's been a bust. He's never. Really
I can tell you the Giants are going to be more fun to watch than the Jets this year.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that.
I think the Jets just need to get relegated to the World League and just bring the Barcelona Dragons into the
exactly.
But I think the Jets have a decent offensive line. They lost Elijah Vera Tucker. He never played anyway. I don't know why the Patriots gave him all the money they did, but he was a good player, but he never played. But they have a good offensive line, and Geno behind that, and Breece Hall,
and Garrett Wilson and Mitchell. Mitchell, and they have a good tight end, a really good tight end.
And they brought in a bunch of guys on the defensive line to stop the run in free agency. So could the Jets win 6 or 7 games?
Oh yeah, they could.
And then
they could have won 6 or 7 games this year if they had a competent team.
Agreed.
They were in games for a while until they started near the end. They just started getting blown out. But for the beginning of the year, they
got rid of
Quinn
Williams and Sauce Gardner.
I don't know. But it's just crazy, guys.
What are they doing, Brian? Like, what are the Jets doing?
I don't know.
I'm not even a Jets fan, and I see I like Geno Smith. I thought he was very good in Seattle. I was bummed that he didn't perform in Oakland.
They had no.
He threw over 4,000 yards in Seattle, so he could actually.
Yeah.
Again, the Oakland had a horrible offensive line.
Yeah, they had.
He could actually technically
Las
have a good
Vegas,
year.
right?
He's going to probably be geared up to have a good year. He probably wants to show everybody what they missed.
Yeah, he's playing for another contract.
Yeah, so he might end up being good because he's going to have at least 3 good receivers and Breece Hall, right? And they also have Jets have a good running game. They have 3 good running backs. So I anticipate them scoring. If these defensive changes help, but also they let Nick Folk go. The only guy he only missed 1 field goal all last year. He was like their only guy on offense you could count on, and they let him go. So they have no kicker now.
Yeah, I'm trying to see their schedule. They have Bills, Bears, Lions, Chiefs, Chargers, all playoff teams.
Oh,
are they playing the NFC North then? Because you named like 2 of their teams. Are they going to play the Packers? Oh no.
Yes.
That's a tough division to play.
Exactly.
Oh goodness.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 playoff teams. Then they have the Dolphins, the Patriots, 6 playoff teams. The Bills again, so that's 7 playoff games. The Dolphins, the Patriots, so that's 8. The Broncos 9. The Raiders, the Packers 10. The Vikings, the Cardinals, the Browns, Tennessee.
10. Is that 10?
So they have 10 tough games.
They get 7 wins. They can get 7 wins.
So they'd have to beat Tennessee, the Browns, the Cardinals, the Dolphins twice. That's 5. Yeah, they could get 6 or 7.
It's not going to be a fun year. It's not.
That's like what the Giants had last year. They had a brutal schedule.
Yeah, that was just unfair.
Yeah.
The Giants had last year.
And look what schedule means, right? The Patriots took it all the way to the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
They had the easiest schedule in the NFL.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I have a feeling the Patriots are gonna come back to reality too.
Oh yeah. I think so. I mean, I think they got. Well, I don't know. I think they're taking chances on some players like Elijah Vera Tucker, like Romeo Dobbs to replace, Stephon Diggs.
They gave Romeo Dobbs a lot of money.
I know, and he doesn't stay healthy.
No,
I mean he gets, he's out for a few weeks every year.
Yeah, I don't know. He's a guy in fantasy you don't take because he's not going to be around.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, great conversation. Next week we will talk. One of our favorite times of the year is working through our brackets. So we will have that next week, and we'll go from there and see what happens. But have a wonderful week, everybody.
Rock chalk good night.
Rock chalk Jail. Take care.
This is Tom Carvel. Thank you for listening to 3 the Hard Way Sports Podcast. Remember to get a Fudgy the Whale or Cookie Puss for the next time you're sitting down to watch the big game.